Hello and welcome into the Knicks-Verse. My name is George, and if this is your first time here or you've been here before but haven't subscribed yet, I'm going to ask you, please, to subscribe right now at this moment. We're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers. We're over 8,300 right now, which is fantastic. Thank you to everyone who already has subscribed to the channel. Really, truly appreciate it. We're trying to get to 10,000. That is our goal this season. And I think we're going to achieve it just the way the Knicks, even though tonight it's sad to lose. It's always sad to lose, but I am not going to sweat this loss in any way, shape, or form. The Knicks were playing with house money going into Denver. The altitude is a real thing. And, in case you just, have been sleeping for the past 2 years, the Nuggets are the NBA champions. They're the NBA champs. So, and plus, their coach, Malone, said it early on. He wanted to get retribution for the loss that we put on them at MSG. So they got their payback. It happened. The Knicks are very undermanned right now. They're undersized as well. The Nuggets are one of the bigger teams in the NBA, especially one of the bigger starting units in the NBA. And when they're hitting their buckets and they're clicking on all cylinders, they're incredibly tough to beat, especially if you are undermanned, which the Knicks continue to be. No OG, no Randall, and Mitch, even though we heard some good news today that he practiced, or yesterday that he practiced with the team, he's still not with the team. So, but that said, Isaiah Hartenstein had a tremendous game. The Knicks showed they were right there. They were down two. They were only down 2 points with 8 minutes left in the game, but Denver. There's a reason they put that number, 5-6-8-4 on the court. That's the altitude there. And I'll tell you, having been in Denver, it's real. You just get there, just even walking around, you get a little winded. So, not an excuse, it's just a reality. So when it comes down to this loss, not going to sweat it. I have some highlights for you, but this is going to be a quick one because there are a lot of other things that are in play right here. There's a lot of other things that are happening, and it basically has to do with the players that are not on the court. OG, Randall, and Mitch. We need them back. This team right now is done basically everything they can do without those players. But at the end of the day, you need them. That's your front line. That's your starting front line. You need them back to be able to maximize the potential of what this team can produce on the court. This team was playing with house money. They got off to a tremendous start on this West Coast road trip. They were up 3-0, taking care of business against Portland, Kings, and the Warriors. Tonight, they went to Denver, and they were right there. Like I said before, they were 8 minutes away from being able to take this game. But they hit a wall. They hit a wall because Denver is a great, great team. I love Denver. Honestly, you guys know I'm a huge Knicks fan, but honestly, Denver has been my team for several years in the West. I just love the way they play. I love Jokovic. I love Jamal Murray. I'm a big MPJ fan. And then Aaron Gordon. I mean, that whole unit, I just love the style of play. I love their attitude. I love their coach. What am I going to say? I'm a big fan of the Denver Nuggets, and I predicted them to win last season, and they did. So I'm not surprised by the results. Do I think the Knicks, if fully healthy, can beat this team? Absolutely. 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 That is why I'm so excited about this team, and at the same time frustrated because injuries are delaying that gratification. But we're still in it. We're still in it. There's a little over a month left in the season. Actually, no, we're about a month left in this season. No, actually, that's not right. The playoffs begin about a month from now. And we have 3 players that are out there that are incredible key players that are waiting to rejoin this team. Let's get to it. I do have highlights for you. Just to recap this, the New York Knicks went to Denver. This was the 4th game of this West Coast road trip. They lost 113-100. And right now, the New York Knicks have dropped to 5th place because the Orlando fucking Magic won't lose. But, shout out to them. Great for them. They're 42-28. The Knicks dropped to 41-28. We're a half game behind them. But look, at this point, if the Magic have a pretty easy schedule moving forward, I believe they have the third easiest schedule of remaining, and the Knicks are right in the middle. So when you factor that in, it's going to, this was a concern. If they could get it, if Orlando could get it together and keeps playing really solid, consistent basketball, and the Knicks weren't going to get their reinforcements back in time. We got OG back, but, he was here for 3 games, and then he left. He was like one of those uncles that come to visit, and now he's gone. So, hopefully he'll return, and maybe we can pick up some wins again. You know what? I'm not worried. Because things are going to be what they're going to be. This team, Thibodeau and Brunson and the others, they're going to be ready for the playoffs, for whatever is thrown at them. Now, of course, the more players we get back, quality players we get back, the better. Because right now, we have a deficiency. Even though tonight, Alec Burks did wake up and give us, 18 points? He gave us 18 points out of nowhere in his 20 minutes. Excellent. But Bojan is still struggling. And actually, I have more faith. Well, here, let's keep going. Right here. It's games like this that makes me think Burks and Bojan will never give the Knicks sustained, meaningful contributions. And I'm very specific by sustained, meaningful contributions. Yes, Burks gave us 18 tonight. There's been, Bojan has given us 19. He's given us 20. But they're like just spotty here and there. These guys have played about 20 games for the Knicks right now. There's a handful of games that they've given us real meaningful contributions. That's not enough. That is not enough for guys like this. We need everyone to contribute. So that is a concern, which is why it makes it even more important, more pertinent that OG and Mitch come back. Randall, I've talked about it before. I really, honestly, if he comes back 10 weeks after his injury, that'll be 2 weeks before the expected recovery time, which is 12 to 16 weeks. If he comes back 10 weeks, fine. He's the best judge of his own ability to play through pain. If he can come back and get some games under his belt, and then he goes into the playoffs, excellent. However, he's never been that good in the playoffs for us. So, but he is instrumental to the ultimate potential of this team. So we're in this weird place right now as Knicks fans, as a franchise, as players, where there's so many possibilities, but it's all contingent on health. And really, that's the story for most NBA franchises, for most sports franchises. It happens in soccer, world-class soccer. It happens everywhere. However, this right now, for us, it feels even more frustrating because we haven't had a team like this, a legitimate team that could legitimately compete for the Eastern Conference title, if fully healthy. We haven't had that since 2013. And that one was derailed by some weird fucking flu or some shit that Tyson Chandler got, and he was all sick, and he lost weight, and he was useless in the playoffs. I mean, if he had been healthy, who knows what the Knicks could have done that season. So we're back in that situation again. However, we're in a much better situation in terms of being able to replicate. This team is set up for success for seasons to come, unlike that team. So take that all into account. I'm not sweating this loss at all. All right, here are the stats, but we're going to go to the highlights, and then we'll talk about the stats during the highlights, because this is going to be a quickie type of recap, even though I've already talked for almost 10 minutes already. Sorry about that. All right, so the New York Knicks tonight shot 48.1%, which is a very good percentage, and they shot 35.5% from the three-point line, which is decent. They actually outshot the Denver Nuggets who only shot 30% from the three-point line. However, the Nuggets owned us in the paint. They destroyed us in the paint tonight. They were, in the paint, 66-46. They were a plus 20 in the paint. Here we go. And MPJ was a big part of it. He scored 31 points for the Nuggets tonight. That guy's such... I don't know. Anyone who has a problem with MPJ, I don't know what they're talking about. That guy is a scorer, pure scorer at heart. He shot 13 of 16. He only missed 3 buckets, and those 3 were three-point attempts. So inside, he was 3 of 6 from beyond the arc. Inside the arc, he was 10 of 10. Yeah. 10 of 10. Holy mackerel. And he only had 2 free throws. He hit those free throws. Where the Knicks really lost this game was in the rebounding. There you go. Knicks were out-rebounded by 13. And as you know, the Knicks need to dominate the boards or at least be even with the boards to have a chance of winning. We started deuce again tonight. And even though it worked against the Golden State Warriors, who are a smaller team, it did not work against the Denver Nuggets here. The Denver Nuggets are just too big. There's just too much size all around. They have long arms, long wingspan, and they completely outmuscled us in the rebounding. Nice play right there. But see how close this game was pretty close throughout until the final, 8 minutes or so. And Alec Burks showing signs of life, as it says down there. 18 points for Mr. Burks. He was overall 5 of 11 inside the arc in his 20 and a half minutes. 3 of 6 from the three-point line. 5 of 7 from the free throw line. 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals. 18 points for him. And he finished a +4 tonight. Yes, shout out to Alec Burks for a +4. And Bojan Bogdanovic, even though he only played 14 minutes tonight and shot 1 of 5, his 1 3-pointer he hit was a big bucket at that time. I think that's the one that kept the Knicks around and kept the Nuggets tried to extend the lead in the fourth quarter, but the Knicks fought back and they got it down to just under 2. And I think that Bojan 3 was during that period. However, 1 of 5 overall, shot 20% in his 14 and a half minutes. I'll tell you, like he's got to figure out how the hell he's going to score some points on this team. How he's going to contribute to winning on this team. He can't just keep going out there with the same script. It's not working, bro. You are phenomenal. You are one of the best shooters in the NBA. Hence, best shooters in the world. So it's about time you start showing us that. This is it. I know you've given us a game here and there, 20 points, 19 points, whatever. We need it consistently. We need you to sustain that. We need you to give us valuable production night in, night out. These 1 for 6 nights, 1 for 5 nights, no more. They cannot happen anymore. We are too depleted to be able to sustain you on the court, missing shots because you don't defend. So, Thibs has some work to do. He's got to figure out how to get Bojan comfortable. I know it's kind of lame to put that on the coach, but that's the job of the coach. The coach is, part strategist, part general, and part psychologist. He's got to unlock whatever's going on in Bojan's head. Maybe Bojan's not getting the ball in the right spots on the court. Maybe Bojan needs, first of all, one thing, no more fucking mid-range shots. Those mid-range shots you and Burke shoot, ridiculous. And I know Thibs knows that. You got to talk to these guys. These guys can't do that anymore. If it's an open 3 or a semi-challenge 3, launch it. Because those two guys can hit contested 3s. But these, getting to the hoop, these little weird little floaters and all that weird shit, we don't need that from you, man. We don't need that from you. I'd rather have Brunson doing that. I'd rather have Brunson or even Dante doing that. Or I'd rather have Miles Deuce McBride attempting those middies instead of you. You guys don't have that game right now. Maybe you had it at Denver. I don't know. But you don't have it right now with the Knicks. We cannot tolerate that anymore. Here you go. The Knicks in the third quarter. The third quarter, the Knicks let the game slip away a bit from them. They were down by 12. And then they went into the fourth quarter, and this is where we made a nice little run with the bench. Boom, three-pointer. Burks, nice. See, clean. Sims fed him nicely. And here comes Precious. Now this is a nice three-pointer from Deuce right there. Deuce started today. Of course, he didn't follow up his career-high 29 points with another 29-point game. He came through with 11 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds, but only 1 of 5 from three-point line. And it comes down to, he also played almost 47 minutes in the previous game. I know he had an extra day off, but that stuff, eventually catches up to you, and that's basically what happened tonight against the Knicks. And then, also, you cannot underscore the reality that the Nuggets did not want. They could not stomach another loss to the Knicks. Malone put it out there for them. He basically said, we cannot lose to the Knicks again at home. And they went out and they proved it. They did it. So it was what it was. Here we go. The game's pretty much over at this point. It was what it was. I'm not going to sweat it like I said before. Brunson, maybe if he had come through with one of those 40-point game efforts, maybe we win this game, but that's a lot to ask. It's the reason why very few Knicks have even had back-to-back 40-plus games ever. Well, that's why. Brunson, 26 points tonight on 11 of 23 shooting. Not efficient from the three-point line, 2 of 7 for him. Only went from the three-point line, 2 of 7, and only went to the free throw line 3 times tonight. Hit 2, but that's not enough for him. He actually definitely got fouled several times. He should have gotten more free throws. All right, as we're looking at here, you can see Brunson, 26 points. Isaiah Hartenstein had career high tonight. I should have been talking about him a lot more. He was fantastic tonight in his 26 minutes, and I like that Thibs still managed his minutes because the Achilles, overuse is the killer. 8 rebounds, 3 assists. But look at the rebounds. No Knicks in double-digit rebounds. I believe that may be the first game all season. It's possible. That may be the first game all season a single Knick has not gotten double digits in rebounds. Wow. That's shocking in some ways. Even if there was another game, it's still shocking. 11 points for Dante on 11 field goal attempts. Dante has been struggling mightily lately. I know he had a good game recently, but he has been struggling mightily from the three-point line. I will tell you guys, I'm going to be putting out a video, hopefully tomorrow, discussing the whole current situation of the Knicks and, where they're excelling, where they're struggling, and whether the Knicks are better with I-Hart starting or Mitch starting. Now, it's a weird argument because it doesn't really matter because they both play a very similar amount of minutes even when they're both healthy. So, but the point is the idea that in the summer we can just let one of them go and hold on to the other. Well, watch the video. You'll see what I mean. So you can see Burks, 18 points for him, 5 of 11. Precious, 4 of 5 in his 25 minutes, but only 5 rebounds for him, though he did have a nice game, 9 points for him. Josh Hart, after playing all 48 against the Golden State Warriors tonight, was a shell of his former self in that game. 2 points for him, 3 rebounds, only 1 assist in his 36 minutes. And honestly, I would have been stunned if he had been able to even come close to what he had done previously. Players do suffer when they play too many minutes over an extended period of time. And Hart and DiVincenzo are 2 guys that have really suffered in terms of efficiency. So the fact that the Knicks have been able to hang around and still keep winning big games is a testament to the heart that this team has, and it's a testament to Jalen Brunson himself and the other guys as well. But the efficiency has taken a hit. The plus-minus here is kind of a crazy story. The high in the plus-minus was Jericho Sims, 10 points in his 8 minutes of play. Interesting. Burks was a +4, and Bojan was a +7. So the bench came through tonight. with some production. It was mostly the starters who cannot hold their own tonight. And again, not surprised. The Nuggets, look, they had their big three. Porter Jr., 31, Jokic, 30, and 14 rebounds, a triple-double for him, and 11 assists, proving he is the best player in the National Basketball Association, which also translates to the best player in the world, and that's what he is. So the Knicks went up against the best player in the world tonight, gave a valiant effort, but came up short. Nothing to cry about. Jamal Murray, 23 points on 20 attempts. That's also nothing for him to be excited about, except for the win itself. And then let's go to the team comparisons here. Look, the Nuggets shot 53.6% overall. Whoa! Even though they shot 30% from the field, from the three-point line. Sorry about that. Rebounding, we were minus 11. Assists, we got up to 28, and we lost the game, which is unusual. We usually win when we get 27 or more, so this is one of those outlier games. The total turnovers were, the teams were stingy, only gave up 10 turnovers both, and the fast break points, Nuggets won that battle. They were a plus 9 on that. Points in the paint, a plus 20. And the largest lead in the game was 14 for the Nuggets, and the largest lead for the Knicks was 6. Again, not going to sweat this loss. Flush it. Come back home. Trounce the Nets. They're playing the Nets. I think they're playing the Nets in Brooklyn, even though technically that's another road game, but we all know what it actually is. It's a home game for the Knicks in Brooklyn. And the Knicks are going to beat the shit out of the fucking Nets. Let's go. Get back on our winning ways. I love this team. I love this New York Knicks team. Even when they lose, I love this team. Let's go. All right. Thank you for watching this. Again, my name is George. Please subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. Hit the thumbs up button for me and drop your comments. I want to hear your thoughts and feelings about all this. They help me very much, as I've said before. Especially if I've overlooked something, definitely shout it out to me. And I will see you around the Knicks-Verse.